YouTube? Tire Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys have had a good week. It's been a crazy week on this end for sure. No question about that. Work's getting tough. Weather's been wild. Internet's been crazy. But onward we move. Can't let these little small obstacles stop you. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're not going to let them stop us. That being said, you know what time it is. It's Friday evening, so it's weekend forecast. Before I get into that, of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you've been watching for a while, or if you're new and you're enjoying the content. Try to stay pretty active on here. Trying to hopefully get to 500 subs by the end of the year, if not more. Either way, regardless of whether we get there or not, everyone who's here, I appreciate you. Just thought I'd let you know that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into things. We'll start out with the usual. We'll get to the SPC here. So today there was a marginal, well actually I think it just got downgraded to a marginal. It was a slight risk today. Not supposed to be a big time weather event. It was mainly going to be centered over parts of the lower Mississippi Valley and across Texas. Texas is already out of the weather now, and we're starting to see the activity work its way into the southeast. Eventually, these showers and storms will be working their way through the Tennessee Valley, into the Ohio Valley, and even into parts of the Appalachians by tonight and into tomorrow. As for severe today, we've had 3 tornado reports, 4 wind reports, and 10 hail reports, most of which are actually pretty spread out. There's more tornado reports in Florida. As far as severe reports, the greatest number has been in Ohio today, interestingly enough. No, wait. Scratch that. Here's some in Texas, including a really large hail report. Have to look into the details with that to see just how big the hail was. It was over 2 inches in diameter. That's one thing we do know. But that's our current look on severe weather right now. We do have a slight risk for tomorrow across the Atlantic coast here, especially through the mid-Atlantic regions, including Virginia, parts of Maryland. This includes the D.C. area and Baltimore. Then through the Carolinas as well. We have Charleston, Wilmington, Raleigh, and multiple other places involved here with a chance of severe weather. The main concerns are wind and hail. The tornado threat is very minimal, but there is a marginal risk for that. We'll get into the details with that one in tomorrow morning's video. Then we have a day 3 slight risk that's towards southern Texas, where we could most likely see large hail, maybe some damaging winds. Tornado threat at this time seems minimal, but just like with Wednesday, where we weren't really concerned about a tornado threat until the last minute, we have to keep an eye on it. You never stop watching. That being said, as my Discord's going off, we also want to make one quick note before I start to look at the models here for the weekend. That storm that we were watching through Cole, we're going to end up there's going to be a little bit of analysis, and I'm going to have a few guests on here with me, so hope you guys are looking forward to that. I don't have an exact time frame as to when that video is going to be coming out, though, so just a little teaser for you guys here on here that are watching, and anyone who is going to be guest on here, you know who you are. Get ready. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer here. This is a little bit closer to what our current conditions are. It's still pretty warm across the south right now. Plenty of instability out ahead of those storms, enough to keep them going. Don't see them going to severe limits. And then, of course, the southwest is starting to heat up a bit here. Expecting a pocket of cold air to continue to progress to the south just a little bit, and the weekend temperatures are actually going to be a bit cooler as we head towards Saturday in particular. Those lows on Saturday across the north are really impressive as far as just the temperatures themselves during this time of year. We aren't really expecting too many more 20s and 30s out here, even across the north at this point. We're starting to get above freezing for a lot of these regions, even for the lows. But that cold air is trying to sneak to the south here, and then we do see that continue to persist as we head into Sunday morning in particular. Look how cold it gets, for example, towards Texas, where we have 40-degree temperatures before 7 a.m. over there. This is 7 a.m. by this point right here, and the panhandle of Texas, we're right at freezing practically here. We have the teens going on over here towards Wyoming. We have plenty of widespread 30s, even starting to get into the heart of the country here to start out Sunday. But just as that happens, we quickly warm back up into the 60s for a lot of us. Towards the southeast, we're still dealing with plenty of 70s. And out towards the southwest, we're starting to bake, and eventually we may very well be talking about wildfire season across some of these areas once again, unfortunately. From that point, as we head in towards Monday morning, that cold air is starting to retreat a little bit, and we'll pretty much be back to something closer to average temperatures, I would say. And then pretty much after that, we're going to be back on another warming trend. As far as the winds go for this weekend, I do have slight concerns about fire danger, especially to the southwest. But for the most part, I think most of the strongest winds are going to be staying away from there. There are good pockets of wind across the heart of the country, of course. And then, of course, with our storm system, a little further to the north is where the winds are really strong right now. Those colder temperatures, it might be a little bit nippy over there, especially towards the northern plains here. So we'll see that progress, and then once it gets a little bit warmer, the the winds actually will start to taper off a little bit here, and we'll have to see what happens with this next little band of winds here. I do think there's another storm system on the way by this point here. We were watching the 25th at one point for a potential day of severe weather, but that is since downtrended. We'll see. We'll get into the details with that tomorrow morning. And then last but not least, of course, is the precipitation. We're going to jump to 6 hours ahead here since the OOZ run has not come in just yet. Cannot keep this thing steady. But here's that low pressure that it caused severe weather on Wednesday and Thursday across the southern plains. We'll see this bring increased activity across both the Ohio Valley, the southeast, and now starting to get into the northeast, and the mid-Atlantic. And right around here where we see this little pocket develop here, and I can't get Epic Pen to work tonight for whatever reason. This is where our area of severe weather is going to be greatest. I think a little further towards North Carolina, according to the NAM 3 kilometer, is showing the greatest potential for severe weather. Maybe a line of storms developing late in the afternoon here. Then these storms form on the front, and before we know it, that system is out of here. Then our next little bit of rain is over towards Texas for Sunday morning. But just as quick as that comes in, that fizzles out very quickly, and then we're left with a relatively quiet weekend across the rest of the country here. A couple of nippy snow showers over here towards the Dakotas, and then, of course, towards the Rockies over here, we have a chance for some snow flurries. Towards those higher elevations where the snow could be a little bit heavier at times. Towards the lower elevations, you might get a little bit of drizzle, you might get a little light rainfall, but other than that, nothing of major significance there. So hopefully you're getting some ideal weather for this weekend, whether it's stormy or it's nice and peaceful and sunny. But that being said here, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, share button too if you want. And of course, the comments are always open. We have more content coming this way. Hopefully things will be a little bit more steady on my end. We'll see what happens with that. But until then, this has been Tired Metalhead Weatherman. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a good night.